You ever wondered why some sprinters train all year round and literally never get faster? It's never a lack of effort. It's honestly just bad information. And sprinting is one of the most misunderstood sports on earth. So you've been told to run more, you've been told to lift heavier, and you've been told to grind harder. But what if those are the reasons that you actually haven't moved in years, right? And today we're going to break down the most common sprint training myths and showing you what actually works. My name is Lawrence L. Johnson. I'm a professional sprinter, multiple-time NCAA All-American, and a former dual-sport D1 athlete in track and football. And this year I placed 9th at the USA Championships and ran my first win-aided sub-10 performance in my career. And here's the proof behind what I teach. Every athlete who's trained with me on a one-to-one basis for at least 6 months has set a new personal record either on the track or in either one of their sprint events or one of our speed testing metrics. So results don't lie, and let's dive into this video. Volume equals more speed. This is one of the worst myths I've ever seen. In college, I used to brag about being like the hardest worker doing extra reps. If we had 200s, I'd run 8 300s after, 6 200s, and finish with grass strides every single day after practice when my coach wasn't there. And guess what? My times got worse. My legs felt dead, and my nervous system was cooked, and I couldn't hit top speed even when I wanted to. And that's what I learned. You don't get faster by doing more. You get faster by doing better. And here's the truth. Sprinting isn't about conditioning, right? So if you think you need to get in shape to be a fast sprinter, you're tripping. It's about neural efficiency, and every rep teaches your nervous system how to fire. So too much junk volume teaches you to move slow. And here goes a tactical fix of what to do instead. Focus on quality reps with full recovery. So example of this would be, instead of 8 times 200 meters at 80% intensity, do 3 times 60 meters plus 2 times 120s at 95% intensity with 4 to 6 minutes rest. Use your flying 10s as your KPIs and not how tired you feel when you leave the track. You want to feel powerful, not drained. So recovery days equal tempo, bike, and swim. It's not a mileage day. So this is what I want you to think. If you were trained fast and you recover fully, you're going to adapt stronger. I remember the first time I hit a 500-pound squat PR. I low-key felt unstoppable, right? But when I went back to that track, nothing changed. It's not like my ground contact times got faster. They actually got slower, and my turnovers were sluggish, and my hips felt locked, and my back was fried, right? And that's when I realized that weight room strength doesn't mean I'm fast on the track. And here's the truth. This is the brutal truth, is that strength only matters if it transfers to the ground and how fast you can actually apply it. It's not about how much you can lift, it's about how well you can move. So do this instead. You want to train on a velocity-based training. So that's when you're using lighter loads more explosively. So that might be trap bar jumps, 4 sets of 5 reps fast. Power cleans, 5 sets of 3 reps fast. Med ball throws, 3 sets of 10 reps fast. And you want to alternate heavy days with speed strength days. So that's lightweight with maximum intent. You want to finish each lift session with short accelerations if possible to help bridge the gym to the track. And if the bar is moving slow, your sprint speed will too. My very first college coach had us running 400s, and we'd hit times like 75, 65, and 60 seconds. And by the end of the fall, I could run forever, but when I stepped into the 100-meter race, I still died at 60 meters, and I still was plateaued. And that's when it clicked. I wasn't training my ability to maintain speed. I was training my ability to survive fatigue. And that's a totally different system, right? Long runs build aerobic capacity and not sprint endurance. And this is something I remember doing in high school, thinking like this isn't the same thing. But sprint endurance is neurological and your body's ability to hold rhythm and relaxation at max velocity. So this is what you should do. Use special endurance in split runs instead of long reps. So 2 times 150 at 95% intensity, 6 to 8 minutes rest. 3 times 120 at 90 to 92% intensity, 5 minutes rest. Split run, so that's 2 times 60 and another 60 with 90 seconds rest. And you're gonna work on maintaining posture and rhythm under fatigue. So what else you can do is add tempo or pool work once a week for low aerobic conditioning if you want to still touch that. Because remember, condition your speed, not your lungs. And this is the biggest myth of all time. When I was younger, coaches told me you're either born fast or you're not. So I stopped really trying to fix my form. I figured my stride was just my stride. But when I started filming my runs, I noticed everything. My heel recovery was too high, my shin angles were off, and my projection was weak. So I made small adjustments and small tweaks week by week, and my times did drop by tenths, honestly. But that's when I realized speed isn't genetics, it's really learned efficiency. And saying that speed is genetics is usually a cop-out. So you can absolutely teach speed through awareness, posture, and repetition under the right coaching. So this is the tactical fix of what to do instead of having a cowardice approach and saying you either have it or you don't. I want you to film every sprint session from the side and back angles. I want you to study these checkpoints. 0 to 10 meters. What's your shin angles and arm drive? 10 to 30 meters is your projection and lean. 30 to 60 meters is upright rhythm and posture and relaxation. And then the fixes for this are your wall drives for projection, your A marches for cycle control, your sled pulls for horizontal force. And I want you guys to get consistent video feedback weekly if possible. And that's what we do in my one-on-one training program. And that's how we're able to get the craziest results we want. My main mission with this channel is to make real sprint education available for everybody. But the most valuable thing that I can do is for me and my team to work with you on a one-to-one basis so you can get the results like the athletes I mentioned in the beginning of this video. Something of value for you. Click the second link in the description of this video where you can book a call with me or somebody on my team to see if you are a good fit for our one-on-one program. Worst case scenario, we give you some stuff and point you in a direction to still help you achieve your goal. But best case scenario, you're accepted and we absolutely change your sprinting career forever. And here goes myth number 5. Sprinting alone is enough. All right, I had a friend who could fly in practice. We're talking about 10-3 talent easy. But every few weeks, he'd pull a hamstring or he hit a wall because he had no recovery, he had no nutrition, and he had no structure. He just sprint, sprint, and sprint. And every time his body said nah, that's when he realized that sprinting exposes your weaknesses. It doesn't fix them. And here's the truth. True speed comes from integrating all 4 of my pillars of speed. That's movement, that's power, that's recovery, and mindset. So this is a tactical fix of what to do instead of just thinking you need to sprint more. For movement mastery, I want you to record your sprints weekly. I want you to review your mechanics, and I want your power and programming aligned. So that's lifting and sprinting with the phases. So general preparation then goes into SPP and then your competition. For recovery and nutrition, I want you to sleep 8 hours a night. I want your post-sprint electrolytes and protein in your system within 30 minutes of sprint sessions. We got 10 minutes of sauna, 2 minutes of cold plunge. And then I want you to actually begin journaling. I want you to have mindset goals and I want you to review them weekly. And that leads in to the next portion of this. All right, this is true or false. Let's hit this with a lightning round. More volume equals more speed. False. Heavy lifting equals faster sprint times. False. Long runs build speed endurance. False. You can't teach speed. False. Sprinting alone is enough. False. Because real speed comes from quality, precision, and recovery. That's true. So if you're tired of guessing and you want real sprint training that actually gets results, you can join my free community called Sprint University, where you will get access to film breakdowns of previous athletes, sprint blueprints, and weekly calls from me and my team. Or if you're serious about breaking through to that next level, you can book a one-on-one call with me and we'll go over your film, your training plan, and build your system around the pillars of speed. So if you found this video helpful, make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe because we will post the next one within the next 48 hours. I'll see you guys in the next episode.